Dybala to the Premier League. Looks like the deal is close. Ancelotti returning to Italy. Guardiola is unstoppable. Manchester City snatches another Bundesliga wonderkid. And did Alphonso Davies really ditch Madrid? All that, right now. By the way, the last episode got 300 likes, and as always, if we hit another 300, the next one drops tomorrow. So smash that like button and let's go. Well, the saga called Alphonso Davies is leaving for Real Madrid can officially be put to rest, or at least postponed for the next 5 years. The Canadian, who was already being photoshopped in a Madrid jersey, has signed a new contract with Bayern. Yes, Davies will stay in Munich until 2030, and it looks like someone in Madrid is nervously tearing pages with his name out of their notebook right now. What does this mean for the player himself, Bayern and Real Madrid? For Davies, first of all, it means huge money. The exact numbers haven't been disclosed, but obviously, Bayern didn't just ask him nicely to stay. A new contract equals a new salary. Plus, Davies himself said he's looking forward to 5 more years at Bayern. At 18, he arrived in Germany chasing a dream, and 5 years later, he's one of the best left-backs in the world. Why not continue building his legacy here? For Bayern, of course, they're thrilled. How many rumors were there about Davies leaving? Real, Man City, even Barcelona was mentioned at some point. Now, all that chaos is over, and Bayern keeps one of their key players. Sure, they could have sold him for a massive fee, but why do that when you can keep a world-class left-back? Plus, this sends a message to other stars. The club takes its leaders seriously. For Real Madrid, Madrid has been eyeing Davies as the perfect reinforcement for the left flank for a while now. With his contract running until 2025, this summer seemed like the perfect moment for a transfer. But now Real Madrid will have to look elsewhere. Theoretically, they could wait, but 5 years is a long time. Will Davies still be needed in Madrid in 2029? Who knows? Honestly though, this whole situation just proves how unpredictable football is. A couple of months ago, it seemed like Bayern and Davies couldn't agree on anything. And now, a new contract, smiles, hugs, and a press release with the classic "I'm happy to be here." Pure negotiation magic. But what do you think? Did Bayern make the right call keeping Davies, or should they have sold him and reinvested elsewhere? And who will Real Madrid go after now for the left flank? Share your thoughts in the comments. According to Fichajes, Manchester United is considering Paulo Dybala as a potential reinforcement for the summer transfer window. Quite an unexpected option, to be honest. The club supposedly needs a versatile forward, yet here we have a 31-year-old playmaker who clearly doesn't fit into Ineos's long-term strategy. But then again, since when has United ever been logical in the transfer market? Quick side note before we continue. 85% of viewers watch these videos without subscribing. Guys, if you enjoy this kind of content, let's fix that. Hit that subscribe button right now. It's free and it helps me make even more awesome videos. Back to Dybala. He was a star at Juventus, one of the best players in Serie A, but his career has been a roller coaster ever since. Since 2022, he's been playing for Roma. And let's be real, his form is about as consistent as United under new ownership. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Last season, he was solid, but this season, not quite as impressive. So here's the question. Does United really need a player past his peak, or is there something they see that we don't? What's even going on with United's attack? Rashford and Antony have been loaned out and will likely leave permanently in the summer. In January, United desperately looked for reinforcements. They even had Christopher Nkunku on their shortlist, but the deal collapsed. And now, here we are, with Dybala. To be fair, he'd fit well into Ruben Amorim's system. He can play combination football. He's great in the final third. But then there's his age, 31. Is he really what United need for the long haul? Or is this just a short-term bridge to something bigger? Also, this isn't the first time United has tried to sign Dybala. In 2019, they could have landed him in a swap deal for Lukaku, but the transfer fell through. Karma? Or maybe United just finally decided to close the loop after 6 years. An interesting detail, his contract with Roma runs until 2026, but his price tag will be way lower than a young top-tier striker. That's a plus. The downside? Well, let's put it this way. When your best argument is, he's cheaper than the alternatives, it already raises questions about the club's strategy. Still, Dybala could give United exactly what they're missing: experience and composure in attack. So, overall, it's a controversial yet intriguing transfer. Dybala is still a moment of magic player, someone who can change a game with a single move. But is this a smart signing or just another desperate attempt to find a quick fix for all of United's problems? What do you think? Should United go for Dybala, or is this just another expensive gamble? Let me know in the comments. And if you've made it this far but haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. There are plenty more red-hot transfer rumours coming your way. Florian Wirtz to Man City? Anyone surprised? If you follow football even a little, you know the deal. When a world-class talent appears on the market, Manchester City is right there, ready to pounce. And now, the latest star on their radar is Florian Wirtz, 21 years old, tearing up the Bundesliga, playing with the kind of ease that makes it look like he's maxed out his stats in EAFC. This season, he already has 9 goals and 9 assists in 19 matches, and in the Champions League, he's absolutely on fire. Pep Guardiola is probably already watching his highlights, figuring out how to fit him into his tactical machine. But hold on, is Wirtz really an alternative to Kevin De Bruyne? Seriously, Kevin is a player who delivers passes like he's seeing the game 3 moves ahead. Wirtz is obviously fantastic, but he's not on that level yet. Then again, does that even matter when you're Manchester City and have an endless supply of cash? Let's be honest, City has spent over 100 million euros on players before, and it's never been an issue. So if Bayer decides Wirtz is worth 160 million euros, or even 180 million euros, it's hard to imagine City being stopped by that price tag. The real question is Wirtz actually ready for this move? Interestingly, Wirtz himself isn't rushing things. He believes 2026 would be the ideal time for a transfer. Yep, he's planning to extend his contract with Bayer, but with a 100 million euro release clause. That means City can get him without negotiations or bidding wars. Brilliant move, because let's be real, Bayer knows they can't keep him forever. But, for now, they can cash in for the maximum price, while Wirtz gains experience and arrives at a top club fully prepared. So, is he making the right decision? Young talents often struggle when they jump to a top club too soon. There's no time to adapt. You either make it instantly or get left behind. Just look at João Felix. He arrived at Atletico for a massive fee, and now his career looks more like a TV series with constant location changes. But maybe Wirtz is the exception, the kind of talent who will thrive no matter what. One thing's for sure, his future seems set. Manchester City is lurking like a predator waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The only question is when it will happen. So let's discuss. Is Wirtz already ready for the Premier League, or should he stay in the Bundesliga for a couple more years? Tottenham desperately needed a defender, offered £70 million for Marc Guéhi, and got completely shut down. Crystal Palace didn't even open negotiations. They just said no. How about that? Spurs seemed dead set on patching up their leaky defense. Under Ange Postecoglou, things at the back have been so chaotic that sometimes it feels like they're playing by the philosophy of we'll just score more than we concede. But here's the problem. Guéhi, the player they saw as their defensive savior, is staying at Palace, at least until the summer. If a mid-table Premier League club saw an offer like that for one of their players, they'd probably be packing his bags already. But Palace isn't that type of club. They don't need quick cash. They want to build a team. Guéhi is their captain, their defensive leader, and his contract runs until 2026. For them, keeping stability is more valuable than cashing in. Surprisingly, not every club in the Premier League is willing to sell for the right price anymore. And by the way, in case you didn't know, when Chelsea sold Guéhi to Palace, they included a 20% sell-on clause. So you can bet the Blues are watching closely, thinking maybe we should bring him back. Now, Spurs have 2 options. Wait until summer to go after another defender, or stick with what they have. And what they have is a backline that sometimes looks like a sieve. Sure, they can continue relying on Postecoglou's philosophy of we concede, but we attack beautifully. But without a reliable centre-back pairing, their Champions League dreams could disappear faster than fans leaving the stadium after another defensive collapse. Logic suggests there's going to be a bidding war for Guéhi in the summer. Newcastle and Tottenham are already hovering. Chelsea could jump in as well, especially with that sell-on bonus in place. And don't rule out Liverpool. Van Dijk is turning 34 soon, and they'll need a long-term successor. The only question is, how much clubs will be willing to pay? £70 million wasn't enough in January, but by summer, his price might skyrocket even higher. Is Tottenham willing to spend more? Or were they just hoping to pressure Palace on deadline day? If that was the plan, they miscalculated badly. What do you think? Will Guehi leave in the summer? And where will he go? And while we're at it, what's your take on Tottenham's defence? Is it really that bad, or is the crisis a bit overblown? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to hit the like button, because if football has taught us anything, you can't go far without a solid defence. And this video can't go far without your support. Carlo Ancelotti and Roma. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what all the insiders are shouting about. The Friedkins, the owners of the Giallorossi, are ready to shake up the football world and lure Carlo back to Rome. But is this even possible? And why would Ancelotti, the coach of Real Madrid, trade luxurious Madrid for the Eternal City, which isn't always successful? Let's start with the fact that Roma is serious. They're looking for a coach for next season, as Claudio Ranieri is likely to leave, staying at the club only in a management role. The Friedkins want to bet on Ancelotti, and it's not without reason. Carlo spent 8 years at Roma as a player and has openly expressed his love for the club multiple times. Seems like a perfect match, right? But hold on. Before you rush to order a Carletto back to Rome jersey, let's remember one important detail. Ancelotti is currently the head coach of Real Madrid. And not just any coach, he's one of the most successful in the club's history. 3 Champions League titles with Los Blancos, regular trophies, life is good, so why would he leave? And here's where it gets interesting. Yes, Carlo has already turned down tempting offers, including one from the Brazilian national team, but his future at Real Madrid depends on this season's results. If Madrid wins La Liga and makes a deep run in the Champions League, Florentino Perez is unlikely to let him go. But what if things don't go as planned? That's where Roma's opportunity comes in. According to the Spanish press, the Friedkins are ready to make an ambitious offer. In plain terms, they'll pull out a suitcase full of cash and wave it in front of Carlo. And it's not just about salary. They're talking about serious investments in the squad and a project designed to bring Roma back to the elite of European football. But let's be honest, right now, this sounds more like a dream than a real possibility. Convincing Ancelotti to leave Real Madrid is like trying to teach a cat to do homework. Possible? Theoretically, yes. Likely? Well, let's just say, if you don't have an ace up your sleeve, probably not. So, for now, Roma fans can dream of Carletto's return, but let's wait and see how the season unfolds. Will Ancelotti stay at Real? Will he take the Roma gamble? Or will he choose something completely different, like sipping wine somewhere in Parma? What do you think? Should Carlo leave Real Madrid for Roma? Or is this just a beautiful but impossible fairy tale?